I have to bring everything out too.
Hey!
Filmmaking is all about lighting. And I just received this brand new light from iFootage. It's their 400 watts LED. It's bicolor. Let me just show you what's in the box. So this 400 watt light isn't the first light that they've sent to me. They've sent the 60 watts, the 130 BNA, they sent a 300, and now they're adding a 400. So I want to see how I can put all of these different lights together to create, like, you know, interesting scenes. I'm going to walk you through that when I'm doing my lighting setup and things. But this 400 watts isn't just like the 300, which is just a white light. This is bicolor, so it means that I can play with different temperatures from warm all the way to cool tones. So let's just see how all of these will help me, you know, create or craft very interesting looking frames for video. So the purpose of having lighting in your sets is just to be able to control a lot of the ambient lights, like what you're surrounded with, so that you can shape it and create it exactly the way you want. Now, I have this Holy Land monitor here, so I'll talk about my camera rig a little bit later, but right now I can see exactly how the frame looks. I can see the lighting based on what is happening. We have the room light, we have the window light, and the ISO on the camera is currently around 6,400, and then this is what we're getting, right? It's okay, it's nice, but the only thing is it's flat, it's boring, but if you want to create a bit of excitement, you need to shape the scene with your lighting. So let me just press record for this so that you guys will also be able to see it when I'm playing it back. So yeah, maybe play with your glass a little bit, you know, yeah, just do something. I mean, we don't need it to be a very long clip. I just want them to see how the lighting looks. Okay, hopefully you don't get drunk before we are done. All right, so yeah, this is what the lighting looks like. I haven't shaped it yet. I haven't turned on any of the artificial lights in the studio. But before I do that, let me walk you through the lighting setup and where I've put it and what each light is doing, and then I'll show you the results as well. So I have the brand new 400 watt light, which is bicolor, and it's going through this 90 centimeter softbox. But the size of this softbox did not create a soft enough light for me. So I decided to put in front of that a diffusion. So this just makes sure that the light coming out of the softbox spreads even more and then gets larger. As you can see, this surface is way bigger than the softbox. So this just creates a soft enough light that can also wrap around my subject. We've also positioned this light a little bit to her left so that we can create shadow on the other side and create depth in the image. But then again, we also didn't want the shadows to go really dark, so we just placed this portable V flat on the side to bounce some of the light back onto her to open up the shadows. Then in the back, we have the iFootage 60 watt light in the back placed over here to create a bit of separation on here. So the background is going to go a little bit dark, and then just to create a bit of depth separation with light, we just turn on the 60 watt light so that it can light her up and then cut her out of the backdrop. So now for the last light, which is the third light, I noticed that there were some blinds in the back, and looking at the shot, it was a little bit boring. So I just thought that if we're able to create that texture on the wall, it will make it more interesting. And I'm using the 130 BNA with the iFootage 40-degree spotlight, and in there we have the pattern, the projection pattern. So that's going to cast that light onto, or that texture onto the wall. And we're also going to make it warm just to match the color temperature from the blinds. Okay, so I'm pressing record on this camera so you guys will see in real time all the adjustments that I'm making. I also have the app for the lights so I can control all of them instead of walking to each of them to make adjustments. And that's very handy. These days, if a light doesn't come with an app, I don't know why you'd be using it. Okay, so I want to control all of the ambient light, right? So I'm changing my ISO all the way down to the base, which is 800 because I'm shooting in C-Log 3. Okay, so this is the current exposure that we have, and you can see that we do have a little bit of, you know, the outside light entering the frame, but it's not really influencing the shot. I think I'm going to use that as motivating light to set up the other lights, right? So now in the back, what I want to do is turn on the gobo light. So I'm going to turn on the 130 BNA light, and as you can see, we have that splash of light on the back, and that's looking really, really good. Carrie, can you just move a little bit this way, like with the chair? Just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit.
Good.
Yeah. So yeah, we can see that we have that texture on the wall, and it's actually looking good. So if I turn it off, you see that, I mean, it's boring, but having this light on the wall just looks really, really good. Now I'm going to turn on our edge light, and that's a 60-watt light. You can see that it lifts the ambience in the room just a little bit, but also adds a bit of separation over her shoulder and the back of her hair, and that's pretty nice. So off, on, we're building the shot gradually, all right? Now this is where our main light comes in. So at this point, clearly you can see that she's underexposed, but she's a subject, and so we need to see her. So that's where the brand new 400-watt light comes in. It's bi-color. So I'm just gonna turn that on as well. There. And currently the light is set to 5,600. I do like the tone, but let me just do a demo for you to see. So you actually do have some gels that you can play with. So for example, I can go to a tungsten, I can go to daylight white. You can play with all these different tones if you have it. You can also just manually slide through. So I can go all the way from warm, all the way to like a cool tone, and then just figure out what I think works best for the situation. And I think giving it a white halogen, or maybe we can do studio lamp. I think we can do that, or I can fine tune it later on, like manually dragging this till I think it looks good. So maybe somewhere around here, I think I can settle with that. So this is what we have now, and then I can just do a side-by-side for you guys to see using the ambient light versus using the control that we have from using these studio lights. So for our final step, if you have all these lights set up and you're creating these textures using your lights, the last thing that you can do to create a cinematic atmosphere is by adding haze. And I have this portable one from Lens Go. So let's just see what this does whilst I haze up the room. It's battery powered, it's mobile, and you can have a lot of fun using this. I think now we've hazed up the room enough. I just want to take a shot of Carrington. Okay, so I'm recording now. 2, 1, action. Okay, we're sticking the camera in the fridge. And then because we have the Holy Land transmission system, we should be able to monitor what the camera is seeing right here. No cables. That's handy. Okay, so yeah, I think I like where we are at.
It's going down like a rodeo. It's going down like I told you so. It's going down like a rodeo. It's going down like I told you so. I hope you're all here for the ride. Come inside, cause it's going down tonight. Only here for one night, no lies. Come and saddle up a ride.
Alright, so for our next scene, our talent Carrington is going to be grabbing a drink from the fridge, and I have 3 lights going on here. I know it's crazy, but they're all doing like specific things. So let me start off with the one at the top. This is the SL130BNA. It's a bi-color light, and then what I'm using that to do is just throw a bit of edge light onto Carrington. When she goes close to the fridge to grab the drink, it's going to edge her out and then separate her from the darker backdrop that we have. Now for my next light, I have the 320DN, and what that is doing is I just have the cone on there, so it's bouncing like a very direct, harsh light onto this polyboard that we placed over here to shape her face. Now the polyboard is not too big, and so it really wasn't wrapping around a lot. So what I decided to do is now use the brand new 400 watts bi-color light to, through a softbox, and then just bounce it into that space in addition to the polyboard to create a broader light that would wrap around her face even more. So that's the setup going on. Let me show you the footage that we're getting. All right, so 3, 2, 1, action. Your eye, no, put it back. See, it has to be convincing. 3, 2, 1, action. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. Right, so that's been it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the little sets that we put together using these iFootage lights. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Hey, take your eye all the way out. Oh my god.
But you said I should look. Not like it's up. It's up. It's up.
The drink is just
I know, but like you can enter the fridge and forget what you are looking for. Until you see it, it happens. It happens. You can forget.